It was dark as Sean drove his ancient Ramona down the steep drive of Mike's 10-acre hillside home in Encino. He sure hoped that the brakes on this ancient vehicle would hold out on this long, steep drive. He didn't really mind if he went over a cliff, but his guitar and all of the rest of his musical equipment was in the car. Losing that would be tragic. Below him, Sean could see the lights of the valley making a huge and beautiful tapestry off into the horizon. It was really a breathtaking view. Mike really was lucky. As Sean pulled up to the shack, which was located on the multi-million-dollar piece of property, he was happy to see that Mike's van was parked out front. Though there were no lights on in the house, through the living room window, Sean could see the glowing orange tip of Mike's cigarette floating in the darkened room. Hi, I'm Neil A. Yeager, and today I'm reading from my novel, Non-Hollywood. If you're enjoying these videos, then please consider going to Amazon and buying a copy of Non-Hollywood. Anyway, this is Chapter 50, Valley Lights. Sean grabbed his guitar and amp from the car and walked toward the front door of the shack. Even before he could knock on the door, Mike had opened it. Sean called out to him, "I'd like to run something by you." To which Mike immediately replied, "You can't move in here. I told you, my brother owns this place. Now he doesn't mind me being here, but the one thing he's not cool with is me letting other people move in, so that is not happening." Sean laughed and said, "Geez, relax, man. I'm not moving in. That's not what I want to run by you." "So you didn't get evicted? Because a while back you said you were getting evicted." "I said that the manager threatened to evict me, not that I was getting evicted. Relax." "Then what is it that you want to run by me?" Sean set the guitar and amp down on the front steps of the shack. He said, "Well, the reason she threatened to evict me was the noise from the guitars. And I figure, since you've got 10 acres, your neighbors are pretty far away. So maybe it would be cool if I record here. That's all. Just record here, not live here." "You want to turn my home into your studio?" "Well, there's this guitar, this amp, a drum machine, a microphone, and a 4-track. It's not like I'm going to set up Abbey Road in your house." Mike thought for a minute. His cigarette had gone out, and the two men stood in the darkness, the glow of the valley below, the only light source. "And how often do you plan on doing this?" "I don't know, maybe once a week, once or twice every 2 weeks, I don't know." "So not every night?" "Dude, I don't have enough ideas to do it every night," said Sean. "And there's no moving in. This is all we're doing. Scout's honor." Mike, again, stood thinking. "All right," Mike said finally, "as long as you promise me that that's all we're doing here." "That's all we're doing here," said Sean. Then he picked up and carried his equipment into the shack. He then returned to his car, and on his second trip to the house, Sean clutched the X15 under his arm. "What is that?" asked Mike. "This is the Fostex X15. It's a fantastically great 4-track recorder. I had one just like it since I was 12, but last week it blew up." "So you got a new one?" "Well, it's new to me. It's probably 30 years old, but I just got it. That girl I told you about, Icon, she got it for me." Mike smiled. "She gave you a present?" "Yeah." "And isn't this the same girl you said was the only one who showed up for that gig you did?" "Yeah, that's her. Nice girl. Kind of weird, but definitely a nice girl." "Who has a thing for you?" said Mike. "No, I don't think so." "Yes, you do." "No, I don't," said Sean. Then he paused. He thought about it for a few moments, then said, "Although," and trailed off. "Trust me on this one, Sean. If someone goes to that much trouble to make you happy, then they got a thing for you." Sean pondered this for a moment. Actually, it sounded quite reasonable. Why else would she be so nice to him? Were there people who were just that naturally nice? Or was it that she liked him? And if she did like him, how did he feel about her? He had to admit that she was cute, but there was just something about her that was, well, odd. But then again, was odd really that bad? Sure, psycho would be bad, but that wasn't the vibe that he got from her. Not at all. She was nice. So, assuming that Mike was right and she liked him, a nice girl who was also cute and who also liked him, did odd really matter? Mike said, okay, how about this? Next time you come over here to record, ask her if she wants to come along. I don't know. No harm in that. And if I meet her, I'm sure I'll be able to tell, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know if you should ask her out on a real date or if I was wrong and you should drop it. I'll think about it. Meanwhile, where can I set up? Sean set up his studio in Mike's living room with the setup facing the large picture window. It turned out that Sean's previous experience of Mike sitting in the darkened room was not a singular experience. Mike liked to leave all the lights off at night so that he could look out of his window at the incredible view from his hillside lot. On and on the pinpoints of light stretched out below. How much was this perfectly situated gigantic piece of property worth? Sean couldn't even guess. This has got to be the album cover, said Sean as he stared out at the view. It is such an awesome view. He bent down and turned on the power to the amp. A little red light glowed in the dark room. It's a good one, said Mike. I am very lucky. Yes, you are, Sean agreed. Then he strummed a giant power chord whose thundering sound split the night. Sean spent the next few hours recording tracks, filling up his cassette tape with different versions of a new song. All the while Sean worked, Mike sat in the dark, chain-smoking cigarettes and listening along to Sean's progress. After a time, Sean set the guitar in its stand and flipped the amp's power switch to off. Mike said, I had forgotten what that was like. Say what? Creating. I had forgotten what that was like. Sean smiled and said, yeah, no other feeling like it, is there? No, there isn't. And I could see that on your face. Even in the dark, I could see it. Mike trailed off. He sat silent for a moment, then continued, I used to really get off on it, creating. But now, Mike stood up, walked to the kitchen, and opened the refrigerator. After the hours of darkness, the light from the refrigerator seemed blindingly bright. Mike pulled out 2 beers and brought them back into the living room. As he handed a beer to Sean, he said, man, I wish I could feel that again. Sean took the beer and said, why can't you? Mike shrugged. It's all past. All gone. What are you talking about? Asked Sean. Hollywood is still there. Oh, screw Hollywood. I don't miss Hollywood. But I would love to do another independent film, but it wouldn't work. Plus, I don't have the money to just do it on my own. In short, my time has passed. What? Said Sean. There is nothing stopping you, especially if you want to do independent. You told me before that you wished that you had directed. Why don't you? There's not a damn thing stopping you. Well, money is stopping me. Money? Said Sean. Why would you need money? You can't make a film without money. Hell, even way back in the 70s, we'd spend $15,000 just on the film stock. Now, who knows how much it costs now? Sean started to laugh. A big, hearty, loud, and full laugh. It doesn't cost anything now. People don't use film. They shoot on HD. You mean video? Said Mike. No, I wouldn't want to do something on video. It's true that we did some pretty cheap movies in my day, but we would never stoop to video. Wow, said Sean. You've been out of the loop for a while, haven't you? Meaning what? Meaning that all indies, every single one of them, are shot HD these days. Hell, about half of the Hollywood films are shot HD. Really? Asked Mike skeptically. Really? If you want to be creative again, then do it. You've got that script that wasn't produced, and that stupid little statue that you've got glued to your van's dash, you could sell that to that idiot who wants to pay you $10,000 for it. Then you use that money to rent a camera and some lights. You're in business. You could shoot it here. I mean, this place may not be the greatest place to live, but it would be a bitchin' looking film location. Mike looked at Sean again skeptically. He seemed to ponder this possibility for quite a while. He then sat back down in his chair, took a swig of his beer, then lit up another cigarette and said, "Won't work. My time is over. It is gone." Mike turned his gaze away from Sean and out to the view of the valley. Mike repeated, "Gone."